final view. Reject the proposal as a direct Lyra2 architectural change, but accept the core question as a worthwhile research ablation proposal.
The paper has a real insight.
Lyra2 already computes world coordinates, but the learned canonical coordinate conditioning is still image.
Is still image.
As asking whether world coordinate identity could become part of the canonical conditioning path is a legitimate and interesting research question.
The paper then overreaches. It treats a coordinate addressing trick. Quantized UVW packed into RGB and stored in a 2D atlas, as if it can replace a trained spatial memory, attention mechanism that is not established. The proposal lacks the experiments required to show that a DIT trained on one coordinate distribution can use this new representation, that quantization will not degrade quality, that feature fusion is valid, or that the claimed memory speed benefits survive once real payloads and sparse hierarchy are included.
The best version of the proposal is not.
Replace Lyra2's frame-keyed cache with a UVW RGB atlas.
Test world coordinate
Canonical conditioning as an auxiliary or alternative signal in a Lyra-like model, starting with controlled small-scale ablations and compare frame slot conditioning, continuous world coordinate conditioning, quantized atlas conditioning, and hybrid frame world memory. What the proposal claims that Lyra2's current spatial memory is frame-keyed and image space canonicalized. It says repeated observations of the same 3D point produce different canonical coordinate identities, because the current key is essentially, rather than a persistent world space address.
Encode canonical coordinate images as quantized world coordinates.
In fact, 3D quantized coordinates into a 2D atlas,
E.g. 2006.
Use this world coordinate keyed atlas instead of a frame keyed cache. Shift memory scaling from O to O, 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 O. Reduce retrieval from frame selection, scoring to direct atlas lookup. Extend the atlas with occupancy, touch bit maps, and streaming for larger worlds. Add speculative future ideas to path structure, channel diffusion, progressive bit depth ladder, entity structured prompting, and accelerated stacks. The baseline reading is broadly grounded. I verified that the public Lyra2 source has built canonical spatial, that it creates canonical chords with a frame slot Z dimension, and that's vars 3 cache add computes world points via unproject points.
So the proposal is not hallucinating the architectural scene.
All reviewers agree on this split.
Defensible core, Lyra2 computes world coordinates already. A persistent world coordinate identity could be useful for repeated observations. A memory that scales with explored scene content is directionally better than one that scales with every frame. The proposal is honest that retraining is required. A small ablation could test the idea without requiring full NVIDIA scale training. Unproven or weak is written. The UVW RGB atlas is not a drop-in replacement. Direct coordinate packing is not very novel by itself. The paper under-engages prior art. The O to O speed claim is overstated. Memory accounting ignores payloads beyond coordinate keys. Atomics are not a valid general solution for latent feature fusion. View-dependent appearance is not solved. Temporal provenance information is not recovered with a spare byte. The bounded 2006 Lyra2's real long horizon world scale. The speculative later sections weaken the credible core for agent by agent findings. Gemini's final, stronger review was the harshest on the proposed UVW. Reject as a core architectural change, but investigate the streaming subsystem. The proposal identifies a legitimate O cache growth problem, shifting toward O.
Memory is a logical goal for explorable worlds.
The occupancy,
Touched bitmap and demand-driven streaming idea is strong graphic systems engineering.
the working set versus total world distinction is sound.
Gemini's strongest criticisms.
A rigid, quantized voxel atlas conflicts with continuous view-dependent neural rendering, collapsing multiple views into one spatial slot, misc losing specula highlights, reflections, transparency, and view-dependent features. Atomic add O. The generated latence is not a coherent feature fusion method. The UVW
RGB bijection is closer to standard world position buffers.
coordinate quantization.